Welcome to another episode of Stampin' Saturday. I'm your host, Tina. Let's get started. I want to dive in and show you what I'm using in this episode. I'm excited about this. This is something very different, but I want to share it. And the purpose behind this particular project is to show that no matter what type of stamps you have, get them out and just use them. Sometimes it doesn't have to be any rhyme or reason. I've learned through just playing with my mixed media products that sometimes you start off and you really don't know where you're headed. And that's a good thing because that's how art is created and birthed through you. So let me show you the products that I use. I'm going to use this moleskin notebook. This is not a mixed media journal. This is not mixed media paper. It's just a moleskin notebook. And you know I love purple. And I've had this in my stash for a while. I bought it. Why? First of all, I thought it was for mixed media. I didn't understand when I was first trying to get into it a few years back. But you know it was purple, so it caught my eye. And once I realized that I had bought the wrong thing, I didn't want to return it. So I'm going to use one of these. They come in a set of two. I'm going to use one of these for this new adventure. All right, I use this Amuse Studio stamp right here. And basically the rest of my stamps I used was Tim Holtz. I use these numbers. I love this set. Oh, I love that set. I use this stamp. Stars. I use this little heart burst right here. I use this stamp with the flying birds. This is a new stencil that I have, and I wanted to try this out, so I tried that. I used the letters, the alphas. I also use this Tim Holtz foam stamp set. Very interesting. Very interesting. I like the set. I was hesitant on how it will work because the stamp itself is foam. And I thought it would be like mushy and messy, but it was not like that at all. And you all are going to see how clear and crisp is stamped out. I think it might be one of my favorites. I got to use it a few more times. This is my first round with it. I also use this Tim Holtz Ideology paper. Had this in my stash for a long time. Brought that out. Of course, I brought Tim along again. Vintage photo and his tea-dye inks. All right. I use this stamp right here. And I believe this stamp set is part of a set that goes with my 7 Gypsy collection. Of course, for this product, I use the archival ink, and you'll see why. Okay, so I use some of these. This is a 7 Gypsy washi tape. I am in love with this washi tape. And this is a Tim Holtz. All right, once again, today I use this gel medium from Fun Stamper's Journey. Love that. So you all, my last item that I want to share, I used a new texture paste, and this texture paste is by Ranger. I've only used the texture paste, the Michaels brand. I cannot think of the name of it right now, but I wanted to try something new. I have been eyeballing this, and of course it's by Ranger. And what I'm finding is I'm liking Ranger's mixed media products a whole lot. Now, I will say Faber-Castell is my by far favorite out of mixed media. I've used, so that was two I used. I used Faber-Castell and I used Michaels brand. And of course the Faber-Castell, I love that better. But I wanted to try this Ranger texture paste, and I'm kind of on the fence about it. First of all, this texture paste is very, very thin. It's very thin. It's not a it's a cream. It's instead of more of a paste, which when I opened it, I was very surprised. So I don't know what to say about it. All I know is that you have to use different pressure very light pressure on this one, using it with the stencil, and I dyed the texture paste with some black paint. I don't know if it changed it didn't change the texture, but I'm not for sure if it made it thinner or not. All I know is that this texture paste was very different than what I was used to using. The other texture pastes were thicker. It was more of a paste. This is more of a cream, if that makes sense. So I have to work with this and practice a little bit more to get the hang of how to apply this in a more excellent way. All right, enough of me rambling on. I want to get into the project that I use. I don't know. Okay, so you all, here it goes. This is what I created. A layout in this moleskin journal. Like I said, no rhyme or reason. I wanted to use my stamps. And sometimes I've look at stamps and I say, okay, I don't know. I don't have a project coming up where I could use this stamp. So now the stamp is just sitting there for time, years, months. And my goal with this Stampin' Saturday is to get my stamps out and ink up every stamp that I own. And this is a good way to do that. Now, will I share this with anybody? I mean, is this a gift? No, this is just for me. This is just the beauty of stamping. This is just, it's just my thoughts. It's just randomness. I don't know what else to say, but I love it. I am inspired to do this type of art by a lady that I met on Instagram, made by Tanja, Tanja. And I just love, she does layout spreads like this. And I just loved it. And I thought about it. When I look at her layouts, there's no rhyme or reason, but I like it. And I said, you know what? I got all these stamps. Let me just start inking them up, laying them down on the page. And whatever comes, it just comes. So here we go. I use some scraps out of that Tim Holtz pad that I had. These were on pages, collage with other things. And I had these little pieces left over. So I glued them down. Here's that washi tape by Seven Gypsies that I absolutely love. This is the stenciling that I did. And if you can see, the texture on this texture paste is not like the texture of other texture pastes, if that makes sense. I do love it, but I got to work with it, as you can see, because it seeps through the stencil very, very easily. So you have to be careful. So I got to really learn how to apply that. Here is the foam stamps. I stamped out school. Why did I stamp out school? Because basically this piece of paper deals with a certificate of perfect attendance. And this is a piece of a vintage report card. I thought it was cute. And so I kind of, from those two pieces, I kind of came up with the theme for this layout, school. So that's why I used the alphabet stencil. I used the number 8 here. And then this is like 2nd and 3rd generation stamping. I just stamped that there. Here's the stamp of the, what stamp was that? What is it called? Close to my heart. Amuse. This is the Amuse stamp right here. And I did 1st and 2nd generation stamp in there. I love the way that turned out. And then I just simply put some washi tape. And here's my birds. I love how they are flying. Yeah, so this is my episode this week for Stampin' Saturday. You all, I just want to encourage you, get out your stamps and start inking them up. Even if you just take a notebook, you'll see it's some upcoming series of what I did. Take a notebook, ink your stamps up. use them. We have paid for these items. They collecting dust, blow that dust off, and make pretty things. Hope you all like this. Leave me a comment. If anybody has used the Ranger texture paste, please let me know what you think about it and what's your technique or what's your little tip on using that paste. Till next time, you all stay blessed and keep creating.